Hi there, everybody. This is Lee, and I'm talking about the latest progressive group that has sprung up as a direct result of Bernie Sanders' monumentally mind changing, mind bending campaign for president last year. This is a Draft Bernie campaign. I learned about them from Lee Camp, one of Bernie Sanders' organizers, the outreach coordinator, is heading up this effort. And he told Lee Camp all about it. I'll post a link to that interview in the description, and then also a link to their webpage where they explain what they're trying to do. In a nutshell, they're doing something similar to our revolution, Progressive Independent Party, uh, Justice Democrats. I'm losing track. I really am. I'm trying to keep it all in my head. I need to start writing stuff down. Anyway, all of them. And I'll post links to past videos I've done about the other progressive organizations that are making an effort to target the Congress in 2018, and then the presidency in 2020 maybe. And then, of course, the Green Party, which is targeting seats in 2017 and 2018 as well. This is about the Draft Bernie campaign, and you can follow the links to the interview with Lee Camp and then also the website. But in a nutshell, they want to draft Bernie Sanders to head this new emerging party and use the power of his name, his personality, his platform, his policies to grow the party. And I'll let people follow the links and see what it's about, but it's basically what the other progressive parties are about. They want Bernie Sanders' policies, ideals, things like that to grow and become empowered through drafting candidates, through implementing changes in Washington, D.C. And the way it was explained, it seemed to me that this particular group in particular has a cause for concern because it's greatly approaching the cult of personality. It has all the hallmarks here of without you, Bernie, this party is nothing. Without you at leading us, we are nothing. And Bernie Sanders did not buy that. That was not what he told anyone ever at all. Bernie Sanders always said, it is not about me. It is about you. It is about the revolution. And they're not listening. I see what the effort is. It's very similar to what other people are doing. There's small discrepancies, and if you watch the interview with Lee Camp, you can see the reasoning that the organizer gave for this particular group. It's duplicating efforts, one. Two, it's approaching a cult of personality without which, without Bernie as the engine, it doesn't exist. And Bernie was anti that. He was like, you take the power, you run for office, you be the change. And they're trying to get Bernie to lead them, and that's not what Bernie Sanders wanted. But they are trying to draft him, and it might work. Never say never. I don't make predictions, but it's looking worrisome to me. Hearts are in the right place, but I'm just not sure. So he explained the reasoning, and Lee Camp actually asked very good questions like, okay, what about the Justice Democrats? What about the Our Revolution? What about the Green Party? And there were reasons given for all of these of why this way in particular is what he wanted to do. And so they're basing, he thinks, this organization on the methodology used to start the Republican Party as a third party way back in the 19th century during the times of slavery, where the third party emerged, the Republican Party, because it took a third party in order to abolish slavery. The two major parties at the time, the Whigs and the Democrats, did not care to stop slavery. It was a deeply entrenched economic system, hundreds of years in the making, and people could not or would not make it stop. And so the third party emerged to basically, within about 6 years, elect a president to abolish slavery. And so what he's saying is that it took Abraham Lincoln to start the Republican Party and lead it to become a major party. And so he's using that reasoning, saying that Bernie Sanders can be that Abraham Lincoln and use the power of his name and persona to start the third party and stop our deeply entrenched corporatocracy, oligarchy system, and return it back to the people. And so that's the reasoning. But the thing is, the Republican Party already existed prior to Abraham Lincoln joining. Abraham Lincoln did not start that party. It was already a party. It was already established. It was a minor party, but it was already there. More along the lines of the Green Party or Peace and Freedom Party, maybe Socialist Alternative Party. It was a small minor party that already existed. And then Abraham Lincoln joined. And then more parties merged, like the Free Soilers Party, because they, for various different reasons, wanted to abolish slavery. Some for altruistic reasons, others because, for selfish reasons, but they agreed on that one thing, and they became a powerful force, sending people into Congress, and then slowly gathering more support until they became a major party and elected a president. So this methodology does not apply in the way that he thinks it does. Actually, it would be more in line of Bernie Sanders joining an already existing small party and then using the structure of that party, the established policies of that party, and merging and then growing that party, sending candidates into office, and then, perhaps, becoming the president. And so, that would probably be the Green Party, Peace and Freedom Party, Socialist Alternative Party, and Bernie Sanders, a Democrat, socialist, one of those parties. Bernie Sanders does label himself as a socialist. Greens are eco-socialist. Democrat socialist already exists, so does Socialist Alternative. So, I'll let people follow the links and look at the interview, listen to the reasoning, and decide what they think. It's People for a Working Democracy. It's a nonprofit organization. It's incorporated in the state of Michigan, dedicated to social welfare by strengthening democracy. And so the Draft Bernie for a People's Party campaign is the initiative of that legal entity. And there's contact information at this website. You can ask questions and maybe get clarification for yourself. I actually like the fact that there's a growth of progressive entities. I'm pro Green Party myself, because they have an established history of sending candidates into office. They have fundraising structure, ballot access. They have communication systems, a donor list. They've got candidates already in office. They've got candidates on the ballot for 2017. They're likely going to have candidates on the ballot in 2018. So, they've been in existence for about 32 years. Jill Stein, Gary Johnson, Rocky De La Fuente have worked to open up the debates. They're working on that with their legal challenges. Also, ballot access, they're working on that to increase accessibility for candidates to get on the ballot. And then lowering petition guidelines, things like this. There are many legal challenges, and they're getting court hearings and rulings and things like that. And then some states are actually opening up their primaries to independent voters, more states. And so we do have already certain states that have open primaries, and Bernie Sanders performed well in those where independents were able to support him. And then more states have that in their state legislatures. They're deciding that. Colorado and Minneapolis recently decided to open their primaries to independents. And so the system is opening up. People keep saying it's impossible, it's impossible, it's impossible, it's impossible. But it's actually coming together. It just means you have to work at it. It's actually possible. It's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work and focus. And thick skins, but it can be done. And so, for all we know, the People's Party, People's Progressive Party, the Bernie Sanders Party, whatever it's going to be called, it might happen the way they anticipate it will. But we'll see. I know that the 2017 elections should be pretty exciting. A lot more people are paying attention. And then that's the upside to all these Trump cabinet picks being confirmed. They're leaving open Senate seats and open congressional seats. And you know what? I say go for it. If you're a progressive, go ahead and go for those seats, and more power to you and good luck. And then 2018, people are ready to set it off, especially progressives. Many people have listened to Bernie Sanders, and they want to be the change that they want to see, rather than saying Bernie save me, Bernie save us. They're running their campaigns. They're gearing up their campaigns for 2017, but mostly for 2018. The challenge is, to really get out there and be who Bernie Sanders said you could be, rather than looking to him, I think. Good luck.